We turn to matters royal now, and the King was joined by the Queen, Prince William and Princess Catherine at a Buckingham Palace reception last night, which traditionally heralds the start of the festive period for the royals. The annual gathering welcomes over 500 members of the diplomatic corps in the staterooms at Buckingham Palace.
Well, it came as Prince Harry's High Court challenge continued against the Home Office over his security protection whilst visiting the UK, and a second day continues in the High Court today. He's challenging a ruling that saw his security status downgraded after he stopped being a working royal.
Rafe, Heydel-Mankoo joins us now. He's a royal historian and broadcaster. So this is an appeal against the original decision. Do you have any sympathy with him?
No, because actually this case boils down to essentially Prince Harry believing that he's entitled to all of the perks and privileges of royalty without any of the obligations and responsibility. It's also actually worth pointing out that this is Prince Harry taking his father's government to court, and that's completely without precedent. We've never seen a royal do anything like this. Now, of course, Prince Harry is alleging that he's been treated unfairly, as you said, that he's been singled out, but the Home Office is quite clear and refutes that and says, you know, you are no longer a member of the working royal family, and therefore your security status must be downgraded. He alleges there are members of the royal household who are sitting on the committee that revoked his security status, but they say, well, this would have happened whoever was sitting on the committee, and it seems quite clear actually that the...
But could I just ask you a question? Prince Andrew, right? So he's not a working royal now. Does he have a security detail?
No, so his security has been stripped from him as well.
Oh, so he's not complaining.
And he is also complaining about it, but not quite so vocally and vociferously. He's having discussions behind closed doors about this too. But certainly, you know, but it's not really an issue for the King. This is a matter, as always, for the Metropolitan Police and for the committee to look at. It's a matter of operational issues, and essentially they've said, look, you are actually getting royal protection. You're getting a bespoke level of royal protection. Like any dignitary who comes, we will view each visit on its own merits, and you'll get the right level of security appropriate to that visit. Just as, if you may remember, during the coronation, we waited for weeks, if not months, for Harry to say whether he was coming or not.
Yes,
and one of the reasons we heard was because he didn't think that the security would be sufficient for him. But it was fine for the President of France. They made no complaints about that. The First Lady of America didn't have any problems with security.
Well, they would have had the same level.
Yes, for some reason Harry thinks that he's a special case. And he has to realise, of course, that he's no longer as important as he once was. He's suffering from that problem.
Once a royal, always a royal.
Well, he's suffering from that problem of younger brothers being second in line to the throne at one point. Now he's fifth in line to the throne. He's not that important. If he wants to have royal protection, he could easily hire former royal protection officers who no longer serve in the Metropolitan Police, either as part of his own security detail or as consultants to train his American team. They won't have guns, but apart from that, they'll be every bit as well equipped.
But Rafe, of course, he is a special case. He made himself even more vulnerable by bragging about how many members of the Taliban he killed in his book called Spare, to steal a famous joke.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's not made life easy for himself, but it was his decision. He knows full well if he wants that royal protection, he just has to come back within the royal fold as a prodigal son returning back to his father. But of course, remember, California is far more dangerous than Britain is. You know, John Lennon was shot in New York, not in London. They've had 4 American presidents assassinated. We only had Spencer Perceval as a prime minister, and that was back in 1812 who got assassinated. So if he's happy with his life in America, I think Britain is a much safer country,
But I presume he has got an armed detail, a private armed detail that he hires in America.
Yes, he has a private armed detail there, but there's no reason he can't have the same detail over here, but without the guns. But as I've said, every visit he makes here, as long as he gives enough warning to the Metropolitan Police, he does receive protection.
Well, personally, I'd much rather be talking about the fabulous pictures that are all over the front pages this morning of the King and the future King and Queen, all their finery, putting on a united front in the wake of yet more unfounded allegations against them.
This is a much better story. I mean, we have glorious pictures across across all of the papers today showing the new Fab Four. You remember the old Fab Four
Yes,
included
they are the new
the
Fab
Sussexes.
Four.
This is the new power team, and it's quite wonderful. This is the most glittering and glamorous event of the year, the Diplomatic Corps Ball, and we've seen a white tie and decorations and tiaras, and really showing a very secure, very happy and content royal family going on with business as usual.
Do you happen to know, Rafe, when you wear white tie as opposed to black tie?
Yeah, white tie is for state events. Black tie was invented by King Edward VII as a more informal way to have dinners. I think it's a very retrograde step. I always go for white tie.
Really?
Where you
See, I
can.
was brought up that white tie was a bit American.
No. No. Well, the tuxedo is actually more of the American sense.
Right,
That's
a tuxedo with white tie is very American.
Americans will even have
This is
weddings in their
tails.
black tie.
Yeah.
White tie, this is as formal as you get. Unfortunately, the King and the Prince of Wales have ceased to wear knee breeches, which they used to wear, and Prince Philip always wore. Over the last 2 or 3 years, they now wear trousers, unfortunately, but we'll let them get away with that.
So give me this again. They would go to a formal event in knee breeches, like knickerbockers.
Like when they go shooting, they still wear them
It's
shooting.
court dress. Formal court dress requires you to wear proper pump shoes with little opera shoes, so that and then you can wear the Order of the Garter around your lovely modelled calf. You see, so that it allows you to show it off. But as the King has got a bit older, he didn't wear breeches to the coronation, and he's chosen not to wear them here. These are the pressing issues people at home want to know about.
Do you own a pair?
I own 2 pairs.
Of course you do.
Well, as I go larger, I have to keep buying more and more clothes. But yes, I have two well-worn pairs of white tie, but no breeches, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I want to know about the breeches. I suspect they do have some still for shooting. It's very much the shooting regalia for stalking and things, but perhaps not for formal work.
I had to wear a white tie once. I forget what it was. It was a film we were making.
I was there with you, actually.
Were you?
I was in the lineup, but you didn't know it, and I shook your hand at the time. Yes, that was many years ago for the London season debutante ball, Queen Charlotte's ball.
It was exactly
and you were there
what
with
it
Ruth.
was.
Yes. And I was in white tie for the occasion.
See, how come I never remember anything about myself?
What we're here for.
Maybe we can find the footage. Yeah, that'll be rather fun.
That's exactly what it was for.
Well, let's find the footage.
Debutante's
That'd be
ball.
fabulous. Were you wearing breeches then?
No.
Oh, shame.
You would be a good debutante. You could be
I'd love
presented.
to have been a debutante, yeah.
Yeah,
Could have married better. Joking.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Rafe. Always fascinating
Yeah,
to talk
very
to you, mate. Thank
fascinating.
you for the insight in all of that and your opinions.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.